There are two homes in this frame. One is for living, one is for everything else. 187 feet of waterfront on Sunset Island's 30, one of Miami Beach's most guarded enclaves. An Olympic-length lap pool. A private dock with jet skis already in the water. A 13-car garage. Two fully autonomous residences on one 32,000 square foot lot designed by architect Kobi Karp and developed by Todd Michael Glaser. Completed in 2025. On the market for $110 million. This is Sunset Estates. Let's go. A compound with a private dock, a 13-car garage, and a waterfront gym where the wall of glass faces a canal. If this is the caliber of property you want on your feed every week, subscribe. We find these places so you don't have to. Sunset Islands the Third is guard gated. There's one way in and one way out, and the people on either side of you are in that same bracket. What you're looking at in this aerial is 32,845 square feet of land. Two separate structures, the primary residence and a fully detached guest house, connected by a stone path that runs between them through a private garden corridor. 187 combined feet of water frontage. A private dock with no fixed bridge obstructions, meaning direct access to Biscayne Bay and the open Atlantic beyond it. From this position at dusk, you can see downtown Miami across the water. The skyline is there every night. It doesn't move. It doesn't change. You bought it the moment you signed the contract. The architecture here does something that most new construction in Miami fails to do. It doesn't announce itself. It earns attention. Two cantilevered volumes of board-formed exposed concrete, stacked, offset, floating above each other, wrapped in vertical Brazilian ipewood cladding that will silver naturally over the years. Floor-to-ceiling black steel frames at every opening. 12-foot ceilings throughout, both structures. That concrete portal at the front steps, the one that frames nothing but blue sky, is not decorative. That's a structural statement. This house was designed by someone who knew exactly what they were doing before a single cubic yard was poured. The entry approach through that gate brings you into a fully landscaped motor court. 13 cars. Covered. Gated. On Sunset Island's Third. This is the moment the compound reveals its logic. That stone pathway between the two buildings, flanked by ipe overhangs on both sides, that mature canopy tree centered at the end, the Olympic pool visible in the distance, it's a transition, not just a passageway. Picture a Thursday morning. You walk this path from the guest house to the main residence, coffee in hand. The light is coming through the canopy. The pool is already warm. There is nowhere you need to be. The rear lawn is perfectly leveled. Terraced white concrete planters, immaculate tropical planting, not a single element out of place. This is what Kobi Karp and Todd Michael Glaser deliver when they're building something for the highest tier of the Miami market. The entry does the job an entry is supposed to do, it stops you. Those floating oak treads, no visible stringer, no sidewall support, suspended against a full-height matte black panel wall. Steel cable railing running alongside. Light coming directly through the front door, framing the tropical garden beyond. This staircase is the architectural spine of the main residence. Everything on the upper floor is accessed through it. Every time you use it, it works as well as the first time you saw it. The main living floor opens in a single breath. From where you're standing, you have the staircase in the left corner, a full-height warm wood panel wall anchoring the dining zone, the living area ahead, and walls of black-framed glass on every exterior face. The motorized panels retract completely, and the floor continues seamlessly from inside to out. No threshold, no lip, no interruption. The covered loggia picks up where the interior ends. That dining table, solid dark walnut, seats 10, sits under a trio of interlocking gold ring pendants that work as sculpture as much as light. The large brushstroke canvas on the rear wall is deliberate. It absorbs the eye without competing with the garden outside. The family room has a grand piano in the right corner. Every other property at this price point has a piano room. This one puts it where the light is. This bar is a room that happens to be connected to another room. The island is clad in the same ivory grain that runs throughout the interiors. The top surface is black granite, and the antique mirror panel recessed into the ceiling above it bounces the pendant light around in a way that makes the whole zone feel like evening even at noon. The shelving wall behind is floor-to-ceiling IPE with backlit open niches, not a wine fridge disguised as cabinetry. An actual display wall. 5 bar stools. The kind of setup where people don't leave quickly. Both kitchens in this compound, the main residence and the guest house, were built to the same specification. That decision tells you something about the intent. The primary kitchen runs the full depth of the room. Floor-to-ceiling IPE cabinetry on the left. That Calicotta marble island with a waterfall edge dropping straight to the floor. A suspended stainless steel vent hood drawing down from the ceiling on polished cables. The backsplash behind the working counter is a single slab of white marble. No grout lines, no tile breaks. Built-in appliances integrated flush into the cabinetry. Gas range. Double oven. Bar seating directly off the island. The glass wall to the right looks straight out to the terrace and pool. You are cooking with a water view. That is not a coincidence. The outdoor sequence at Sunset Estates is not a backyard. It's the reason the indoor spaces were designed as they were. That covered loggia, IP ceiling, IP wall, deep sofa seating oriented toward the pool, functions as a third living room. The transition from inside to here is a single step and a frame. Nothing else. The outdoor kitchen has a Sedona built-in grill, marble countertop, full-base cabinetry. It is positioned to serve the upper terrace dining zone, the one framed by that concrete portal, without the host ever leaving the exterior. The outdoor dining table looks down toward the pool. The pool looks toward the dock. The Olympic-length lap pole sits in IPE timber deck surrounded with lounge chairs on both sides. The cabana pavilion to one side has a full weatherproof television mounted and facing the water. The spa is integrated into the pool volume. This is a compound that has thought through every scenario in which you might want to be outside, and built a specific answer to each one. 187 feet of combined water frontage. No fixed bridge obstructions between this dock and Biscayne Bay, and from Biscayne Bay to the open Atlantic is a matter of minutes. The IPE dock runs the full width of the waterfront. The jet skis are staged. The dock lift is in place. At current Miami Beach Canal frontage rates, where prime waterfront is trading somewhere between $800 and $1,200 per square foot of land, current market data, verify, the water access component of this asset represents a significant and non-replicable portion of the ask. You cannot manufacture this kind of frontage on Sunset Islands, sir. It either exists or it doesn't. The garage capacity on this compound is 13 vehicles, between the covered motor court and the attached garages on both structures. What you're seeing in this frame is the current owner's collection: a black Rolls-Royce Ghost, a white Lamborghini Huracan, a Range Rover, and a silver Rolls-Royce at the rear. The garage has wall-mounted sconce lighting, polished pavers, and a direct interior connection to the residence. It is a proper car gallery. The motor court outside accommodates overflow. Combined, this compound handles a collection or a gathering with equal ease. Most properties at this price point cannot say that. The primary suite on the upper floor is the quietest thing in this compound. That is entirely by design. King bed centered in the room, cove lighting running the full length of the headboard wall, the kind of ambient detail you only notice once it's gone. Sliding glass doors opening to the private terrace. Boucle seating in the corner. The television is there, but you're not looking at it. That terrace is one of the most private spaces on the property. Teak furniture, full IPE ceiling. The treetops of Sunset Islands below you and the Miami skyline visible on a clear evening. The primary bathroom has a freestanding white oval soaking tub set into a stone niche, matte black wall mount faucet, symmetric heated towel rails flanking it on both sides. The glass-enclosed shower is walk-in, oversized, with a full slate of body jets. Floating teak vanity. Timber ceiling continuing from the bedroom. Sliding glass to the terrace. The dual walk-in dressing rooms have light oak cabinetry with LED strip lighting, full-length mirror. Ottomans for dressing rooms have light oak cabinetry with LED strip lighting, full-length mirror. Ottomans for dressing. This is not a closet. This is a room with an assignment. The guest house is where the compound earns the word compound. 2 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, a full kitchen built to the same specification as the main residence, a laundry room, and a private double-height garage. But those are the standard features. The non-standard features: a conference lounge that seats 16 walnut table, IPE paneling, television wall, Pool visible through the glass, the developer's golden groundbreaking shovels hung as art on the wall. A waterfront gym with corner glass walls looking straight onto the canal and pool. Full techno gym equipment lineup. This is not a guest cottage, it's a separate operating unit. Whether it houses family, a key employee, a private office function, or simply gives the principal residence permanent separation. The guest house at Sunset Estates was designed to be self-sufficient at the level of the main property. That is almost never the case. Here is the one thing we're saying plainly. This compound sits on a canal, not open Biscayne Bay frontage. The turquoise water you're seeing is an intracoastal channel. It is private, it is beautiful, it has direct access to the bay, with no fixed bridges in the way, and it accommodates jet skis and a dock lift with ease. What it is not is an open bay panorama or ocean-facing frontage. That distinction is the price of what you do get. Complete privacy within a guard-gated island enclave, a 32,000 square foot lot in one of the most land-constrained markets in the United States, and 187 feet of frontage that most of your neighbors would trade their entire property to have. The canal is not a compromise, it is the product of a specific kind of privacy. So let's bring this together from the compound as a whole. 32,845 square feet of land, 2 fully autonomous residences, the primary at 10,791 square feet, the guest house at a scale that competes with a standalone luxury property. 9 bedrooms total, 11 bathrooms, 12-foot ceilings throughout, resilient wood, exposed board-formed concrete, an Olympic-length lap pool with spa, a private dock on 187 feet of waterfront with no fixed bridge obstructions, a 13-car garage, a waterfront gym, a 16-seat conference lounge, a bar that entertains on its own terms, dual primary dressing rooms, private terraces off both the bedroom and the upper floor, a motorized smart home system throughout. Designed by Kobi Karp. Developed by Todd Michael Glaser. Completed in 2025 on Sunset Island's third, one of Miami Beach's most private, most coveted addresses. This property cannot be replicated. Not on this island, not at this scale, not at this specification. $110 million. And you haven't even seen it at Sunset yet. All right, I want to hear from you. Out of everything we looked at today, the waterfront dock at dusk, the 2-structure compound with the private gym and 16-seat conference room, the bar with the antique mirror ceiling, the primary suite terrace over the treetops, or that garage with the rolls and the Lamborghini, which single space would you spend the most time in? Drop it in the comments. I genuinely want to know. If this is your first time here and you want to see properties like this every week, hit subscribe. We have more incredible homes coming that you do not want to miss. See you in the next one.